Okay, so you want Shocka to kind of intro himself?
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
so
nice
so you've thrown it to me now, yeah?
Maybe. Thanks for coming to meet me, man.
Not a problem, bro.
I appreciate it. So where are we right now?
Look, right now we are in the infamous, the legendary Broadwater Farm. This area, unfortunately, has been notoriously known for negative things. It had 2 riots. I had another riot recently, like a couple of years back, when Mark Duggan died. But now the area is starting to get known for positive things. Heady One's from here. He just got a #1 album. Band OK, Abracadabra. There's some amazing things coming out of here. Myself, Shocka. If I haven't introduced myself, I go by the name of Shocka. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, like obviously, I just wanted to talk to you a bit about obviously your past, what you've been through.
Yeah.
Like I said before, like I saw you playing live last year, so ever since then I've wanted to chat to you, find out a little bit more about like your story, your journey, and kind of like what the future holds for you, really. So obviously, you know, a few years back, you're in Marvel, right?
Yes.
And so tell me like what happened.
Yeah, so 2011, 2010, we got signed to a label called Risky Roads.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you heard of them. They're quite popular in the grime scene.
Yeah.
And then 2010, we also brought out our single called We Know. And then the single didn't do too good. And then 2011, we ended up getting dropped from that label. They got Cold Feet. There was like a new label, new independent label. They've never done this before.
Right.
They spent a lot of money behind the first single.
Right.
And so they thought, no, we're not doing this again. I don't know if their investor that they had investing in them got Cold Feet as well.
Mm-hmm.
But they just pulled out of the situation. And that just left us in limbo, like complete limbo. And then I spiraled into like a deep depression off the back of it. I remember being at home, idle, not doing anything. And then at the end of 2011, I ended up getting sectioned for the first time. Getting put in a mental health hospital for 5 days. St. Anne's Hospital is not too far from here. And I got sectioned for the first time for 5 days. I got sectioned 2012. Then I got sectioned again 2013. A year later, I relapsed again. And then I was doing well again, trying to pick myself back up, get back on my feet. And then I ended up getting sectioned again in 2016. Shit. So that's 3 different times I ended up getting sectioned.
And was it for like different reasons, or was it like the same?
It was like the same kind of reasons.
Reason,
like I remember the doctor kept telling me all the time, like, don't come off your medication. Anyone that's been sectioned before or gone through mental health things, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Sure.
The doctor kept telling me, don't come off your medication, come off it gradually.
Yeah.
You can't just come off straight away, you're not ready to.
Yeah.
But like at that time, I didn't understand that concept, and plus I was pressured by my environment. Not like they were telling me to come off it, but I felt embarrassed. It's not like how times was now. I wish it happened to me now, but if it did happen to me now, there's so much people I could have spoken to about it. I could have told me, no, stay on it, don't worry, take your time. But at that time, I felt like embarrassed to be on medication, and I didn't want to be on it. And I remember there was always rumours going around saying don't take your medication because the government slow you down, or they're trying to, do you know those little rumours we've always heard, and like stuff like that. So I kept coming off it, and I just kept relapsing. And then the third time I got sectioned in 2016, I always tell this classic story, and I'll tell it forever, but just before I was going to get discharged, the doctor said to me, look, you've been here a lot of times. You've been sectioned for 3 times now for your age, and you're a young man. You can't continue like this. And those words just clicked in my head. I don't know why, but it just clicked in my head. Like, yo, you've got to change and make something happen. So from then, I'm still on medication now till today. But I'm on a lower dosage now. And I'm just taking my time with it. And like, even though they said there's a possibility I could be on it for the rest of my life. But I'm not thinking like that. But I'm just taking my time with it and just going at.
There's no rush, right?
There's no rush. I'm just going at my pace, taking my time. And ever since then I've just been building myself back up. And man, fingers crossed, God willing, I haven't been back since.
Amazing.
So it's been like 5 years now. Coming up to that 4 or 5 years.
It's interesting you say that as well, about like how, like when you were on your medication and you got sectioned, like you did it because you felt the pressures from like society, and like you know, it wasn't like it is today. And like it is so true, because like 5 years ago, I was really struggling with my mental health, and like I felt like I couldn't speak to anyone about it, and that was only 5 years ago.
Yes,
you know?
exactly.
Like, now, obviously, I feel like I can talk to so many people about it. I've met and I also think like what you were mentioning earlier about it's people in your circle, you know, like who you surround yourself with. And like, it's because my friends, important.
This area that we're in now, they don't understand mental health. They don't understand it. Like what I'm doing now is like I'm starting to see the importance, especially coming from someone like me. That is part of the mental health and someone that people see as cool because of my history. I think I was the perfect person to get picked to do this because like people will just listen just based on the fact that it's me. Do you know what I mean? So it's starting to make sense now why everything happened.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you go through those struggles for a reason.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like they obviously make you stronger. And, and you learn from it, obviously.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. So, like, obviously you got so as you mentioned, obviously you got dropped by the label. So you went from being. Were you literally like full-time musicians?
Full-time.
Like,
I've always been full-time.
Yeah, just working.
I've only had.
And
I've only had one job in my whole life. That was at Sports World. I got let go from that, and I've never worked ever since. This has always been my main thing.
Yeah.
So you can imagine the sort of strain that was on me.
Yeah.
When we got dropped.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, yo, everything's finished for me. Do you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
I'm thinking everything's finished for me. And you can imagine the panic that I went through because I don't have a plan B to fall back on. It's not like I was thinking, all right, cool, this doesn't work. I'm going to go do my job that I got because I got my degree. I can do this job. There's nothing like that there. There was no plan B. So like, and that's a risk that I signed up for. Do you know what I mean? And when you're young like that, it takes a lot.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
prepare yourself.
Especially like, so obviously you guys were young, you know, and like you were up and coming. Like obviously you were touring with all these artists. Yeah. So like, how did that feel? Like, how did it feel being that young? Because I know like Jordan Stevens talks about this quite a lot in Rizzle Kicks. Like when he was in Rizzle Kicks, he like really struggled with it because he like was so young and he couldn't like really process all the fame and everything else. But like, how did you feel, going?
Do you know what? I felt like I was even luckier that I was in a group.
Is it? Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That helped me so much because like, think about the crash that I had. Yeah. And I still ended up getting section and everything I went through. Yeah. And being in a group, having two people by my side, and I was still affected like that. So I can't imagine what it's like for some of these artists when like they're by themselves. Do you know what I mean? That's why it probably leads to suicide. Because there's literally no one there. Yeah. I had group members there and it was still difficult. So it's hard, man. Yeah. It's hard. It's beautiful going through it. When you're experiencing the fame and the nice moments, it's amazing. But the decline, it's not as nice. Yeah. It's not as pretty.
And do you think that's like, do you reckon that's like what happens to like Mac Miller and like artists?
That's what
like
I was thinking of just now in my head. Yeah. When I said leads to suicide, I was thinking of people like Mac Miller and other people that's gone that route. I think definitely, man, it's difficult on your own. And especially at that magnitude of fame as well, because we was big, but we wasn't that big. They're like they're worldwide superstars, so like I can't imagine what sort of pressure.
Yeah, it's like immense
comes
pressure.
With that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And like, so if you could go back in time and like say something to your younger self, like say something to like you at that time, like what advice would you give?
I always think about that.
Give that.
I always think about that. I think to myself, if I go back and I say some advice to him, would I turn out like this now though? Do you know what I mean? Would it fuck everything up? Do you know what I mean? Would I? Because like the reason why I say that is because the person that I was before I went through this didn't care about mental health. I didn't take situations like this serious. If I saw someone right now just walking up and down talking to themselves, I probably would tap him like, look at him, he's fucking nuts. Do you know what I mean? I didn't care about mental health. Yeah. Or if I saw someone crying, I wouldn't take it seriously. Yeah. So that person wasn't equipped to be on this journey. Yeah. The only reason why I'm taking this journey so serious is because I've gone through it myself and I've gained more of an insight. So I always ask myself, how would I have been? Like, would like right now there's a big mental health movement happening all throughout the world, yeah? And I think to myself, if I didn't go through it, would I be one of those people that's just on the side now just watching it? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I wouldn't be having this interview with you. You would have had no reason to reach out to me to hear my story. Do you know what I mean? Like, what would I be doing? I probably will be the person. Do you know who I would have been? Honestly, I would have been the person that's gone through depression, like my own sort of, maybe not section, but gone through depression and everything, but I'm hiding away from it and I'm not saying it. I would be the person that I'm trying to reach now. You know, like why we're doing this and we're trying to reach someone. I'll be the person I'm trying to reach now. I'll be the person that's running from his depression, not talking to no one, thinks it's unmanly to cry. Do you know what I mean? I would have been that typical person. That would have been me. So like, I don't think I'll go back and say anything to myself. I'll just.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
So coming back, obviously you're coming back to the music industry now. Like you've released a lot of like solo albums. Most recently, Impact Over Numbers. And what are you doing differently this time round to the first time round?
This time around, I'm ready now.
Yeah.
It's like I've been through it. You know, Eminem's 8 Mile? Remember the last round where like he had the black eye and like he was ready, do you know what I mean? He's gone through it, like he's gone through the training camp. That's me now, like. Luckily, I was younger. Lucky I can't even get my words out.
Young enough?
Lucky I was young enough, to go through all of that, go through the training camp, and still be young enough to have a second chance in the industry. Do you know what I mean? Most people go through this situation in like their 30s and their 40s and they can't get back into. Do you know what I mean? Now I'm still like you lot were surprised when I said my age. I'm already like 32, so like I'm ready now. Like mentally, I'm taking my time. Like I was telling you, I always go at my own pace now. Nothing's forced. My whole ethos is organic. Organic. Like everything I've been doing has been organic. My first freestyle I ever did on Instagram went viral. That was natural and organic. I didn't even plan it. I just literally just did it from my heart. So I'm more smarter. I'm more sharper now. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
And another thing that's changed is my intention behind what I'm doing and what I want. My goals has changed. At that time, I just wanted to like tour and have girls and get free clothes and like make money and I achieved all those things and I've done that, and now I've got new goals now. Now I want to impact lives in a positive way. Now I want to inspire people, like, do you know what I mean? Everything's changed now. I got brand new goals, so and your goals dictate how you're going to carry yourself. So like if you look at the person I was then, that makes sense why I was behaving like that. For the goals I wanted. And now the person I am now makes sense for why I'm making moves for what I want now. There's certain stuff I'll say no to straight away because it's not in line with what I'm after.
You've got a purpose, right?
I've got a purpose.
Like you're going after it. It's
Definitely.
amazing, man. And that's like what I instantly got when I went to Hussein's event last year and saw you play, and I was like, it's so different to anything else that's out there, you know, like with that focus, and you can instantly tell from your music like what it's for, you know, what purpose it is for. It's amazing.
And that's why it was so easy to pick Hussein's tour, because it was in line with my purpose. As soon as he messaged me and said, "Yo, bro, I'm loving what you're doing. I want you to come tour with me." I just knew. I was like, "This is perfect." The audience you're gonna have there need this message, and 100%. I need to get to them. And we're here today, and I got the right people. And that's another thing that I'm starting to learn now, and that's what Impact Over Numbers is about. It's about having the right fan base for you. Do you know what I mean? Not everyone. Like you can post this same interview we're doing now on Grime Daily, and they might slew it in the comments, and you might leave thinking it was a rubbish interview, not knowing that it's not. It was just for the wrong people.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? 100%. So you've got to find your right people.
Definitely. And what are your overall like thoughts on the music industry today? Like, do you think it's changed from, you know, when you first went into it a few years ago, or is it still kind of the same but you're just having a different approach to it now?
I think it's still the same, but I've just got a different approach. I don't think anything has much changed apart from like where the game has elevated to. It's progressed a lot, but I don't think anything has changed to like help our mental health. I think it's even more damaging for our mental health now with the whole social media age, and like we never had that before. Now like you can get crucified and cancelled like that in public. You know what I mean? It wasn't like that before. So it's even more damaging for our mental health. But in terms of like progress, the game definitely progressed so much. Like the opportunities that this younger generation is getting now, we never sniffed half of those opportunities when we was coming out. Do you know what I mean? Like they're literally millionaires now, multi-millionaires already 2 years in. Do you know what I mean? So that's changed, but that's about it. in terms of what you're saying about my music being for the person that I would have been if I didn't go through this situation, basically the core intention behind my music now is to let people know that they're not alone. As corny and cliche as that sounds, but it's important to know that, because I think that's why the internet's here. I think that's why the internet got birthed. The internet is an internetworking tool. It's a connecting tool. Yeah. It connects us together and it lets us know we're not alone. Yeah, and that's what's changed my perspective. If I did not have the internet and being able to like have all these amazing Instagram sites that people are doing with all this information, I've learned more from the internet than I've learned from school. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like I've learned so much. Yeah. And the internet has showed me I'm not alone. All these people, like people will have these pages that I go on these social media pages, will have like detailed accounts of like their breakdowns, and I'll read it and I'm like, that was just like mine. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And like I can DM that person, I can talk to him. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it shows we're not alone, and that's what I'm trying to do with my music. So the message I'm trying to get to the person at home listening to this, that's probably going through depression, anxieties, suicidal thoughts, I'm trying to get them to know that they're not alone and they can speak. Because the only reason why we don't speak in the first place is because we feel like we have no one to speak to, no one will understand. 100%. But because of social media now, there's a whole tribe out there. Yeah. Everything in life is tribes. Football teams are tribes. Do you know what I mean? There's basketballers that don't give a fuck about football. They've got their own basketball thing. Do you get me? Then you've got churches. Then you've got organizations that everything's tribe. So you've got to find your tribe. Like since I saw you guys, I knew you was part of my tribe. I was like, okay, we got the same. And when I say tribe, all that I mean by tribe is someone that has the same belief systems as you. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That's your tribe. That's your people you can talk 100%. To. And that's what the internet's done for us now. It's allowed us to connect with our tribes. Yeah. So like, all the people that's at home listening to this, that's probably gone through what I've gone through, I'm trying to tell you, you're okay now. You found your tribe. You can DM me anytime. You can DM probably anyone else in your comments anytime, and you can talk about your situations and you can find a solution and you can heal those situations with your tribe.
100%. Yeah. Amazing. And so would you say that your tribe now, so like...
Thank you, bro. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, sorry. So would you say now that your tribe has changed to what it was, or is it more of a case that it's got bigger?
Oh, that's a good question.
Or is it a bit of both? Like, have you cut off certain people that you used to speak to, or is it more like you still stay in touch with everyone that you used to, but you now just have a lot of other people that you speak to, and you kind of speak to different people about different things?
That one, the last one.
Yeah.
I speak to different people about different things.
Sure.
So if I've got like mental health issues, I'll talk to someone from my tribe, someone that I know can relate and will understand.
Sure.
If I've got girl issues, I'll talk to someone from a girl tribe, someone that I know that's like really well versed with women that can understand. Sure. But the beautiful thing that's happening now in society is that like everyone's starting to understand the mental health issue now. So now I can talk to anyone about it, which is amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
I can talk to my mum about it now. Before, she might have not had a clue how to deal with it. Yeah. I can talk to you now on a random night. I can just call you. Everyone's starting to understand. Absolutely. And I think outside having tribes, I think if there's anything we all should understand is mental health. Yeah. Because that's one thing we're all capable of having. All of us are capable of having it because we've got a head on our shoulders.
Absolutely.
So if you don't have a head on your shoulders, then you're not involved in this conversation. Yeah. But as long as you've got a head on your shoulders, that means you've got the capability of having mental health problems. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And you've like made quite a big transition, right? Like even your whole music, it just sounds completely different now. Yeah. So what reception have you had from that, like from family, friends, but also supporters as well? Like how have they kind of adjusted to that? Like what?
In terms of the first part of me making the transition, I started making that transition in Marvel at the end. If you listen to the last verses of some of the songs, they started getting a bit more conscious and a bit more spiritual. So I was going that way. I was leaving the group. I was basically saying, bye guys, I'm going that way, And then obviously we split up and then I fully made that transition. But in terms of the reception, people just took to it.
Is it? Yeah.
People just took to it. People just took to it. I think I was going to justify why they took to it, but I can't explain that. But people just took to it like they really loved it.
I feel like it's relatable, right?
Yeah,
that's why that's why I'm sat here right now. Yeah. Because I was listening to your lyrics, I was listening to your music, and obviously when I saw you live, and like I could tell like it wasn't just me that was stood there feeling the same thing. Like everyone in that room, like it was so relatable. You know, everyone can get behind it.
Yeah. And I think like that's why I got to thank Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole for that. They're my heroes. I got to thank them for that, because I remember, I'll never forget, I remember listening to a Kendrick Lamar interview, and he was talking about why he changed his name, because his name used to be K Dot.
Oh, is it?
But he changed his name from K Dot to Kendrick Lamar. So he made a transition as well. But he said the reason why he made a transition is because he was listening to people like Tupac and Jay-Z, and they all used their actual names and gave their fans an insight to what they was really going through. And he was like, oh shit, if I want to be a legend like them, maybe I should follow suit. I should give my audience my real name, which is Kendrick Lamar, and I should give them an insight to what my actual life is, and maybe they can relate more, and maybe I can be a legend like them. And I was like, well, boy, if I want to be a legend like you, then maybe I should follow suit. So I made my first EP, which was called Kenneth is a King. So I put my actual government name there to reintroduce myself to the world again. And that was the EP that had Be Yourself on there and Haven't Spoken to Dad. And then it worked. Like, his formula worked. Like, people talked to it. They was like getting messages about how you've grown so much. I didn't know this about your dad. I didn't know you got section. Because I wasn't going to speak about getting section before. I was just going to hide it. As I said to you before, I would have gone down that typical route of like just pretending and covering it up. But then thank God for Kendrick Lamar saying, yo, if you want to be a legend, you have to be more transparent. You have to be open. You got to be yourself. And I was like, yeah, he's right. Because I do want to, do you know what I mean? And if that's what if that's what all the legends did, they let me follow in their footsteps, and I did it. Like, I put my real name out there, I put my real stories out there, I put my feelings out there, I put my insecurities out there, I put my deepest fears out there. And it's a scary thing to do, but it paid off. Like, now I've got a genuine fan base that actually know who I am and like care for me and the music. So
how have you found people have reacted to you being vulnerable, to you being open?
That's a great question. They've reacted in a beautiful way, in the most beautiful way ever, because I realise I've got a genuine connection with them now. Like, the comments, the feedback I used to get from Marvel days and to now is completely different. Before, I used to get, oh, your punchlines are sick. Because I used to be a metaphor rapper. I used to have the sickest cool like punchlines, and I used to get those kind of messages like, I clocked that punchline you said Carlos, you get it? And I used to get those kind of punchlines. I mean, those kind of feedback. Now I get messages saying, oh my God, I understand what you said about your dad. My dad left at so-and-so age, and we go into like a beautiful dialogue, and we connect on that level. Do you know what I mean? So now
it's a much like deeper connection.
It's a much deeper connection, and it's much more fulfilling. So that's one of the things I can say that I've benefited from being vulnerable. And I think more artists should be vulnerable in their music. It just opens you up in a beautiful way, and 100%. It just builds a beautiful connection with like your audience.
Definitely.
That's all I can say on that. That's you know what I mean. And my album's called Vulnerability is the New Cool. That's actually my album title. So you'll hear some music from that eventually.
Love that. Well, thank you so much, man.
Cool, man.
One of them ones. I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming to chat. Like, I think what you're doing is amazing.
Thank you.
You know, you've obviously helped so many people already. And it's just onwards and upwards for you, I think, you know. Like,
appreciate it, bro.
And it's needed as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Love.
Cool.